So this video is going to be about Om meditation, mainly about the letter, and about Shiva, and how we're gonna destroy ourselves in a calibrated way, to collaborate with the gods in order for us to become good. So when we refer to the lungs, when we refer to the things that help us get the voice out, right, which is lungs, we refer to metal element. And metal element in the Chinese medicine, it is very pivotal for our body. It's very important for our body to function. So most of the people, as you can see, that they don't use their lungs so in a coherent way, right? They don't use the lungs so in a way that benefit them. They don't utilize the absorption of oxygen and nitrogen, right? So it's mainly because of the work of shame, mainly because we worship shame. If we get out of the shame frequencies and we rise higher to a better kind of freq, right? When carbon is inside of us and we want to get the carbon dioxide out, we want to destroy all sense of ignorance inside our lungs and intestine and liver, right? Sometimes the liver can be very weak. And when the general is weak, then we cannot fight the war. We need help from outside. So how can we help ourselves? Voice. We're going back to all meditation. Voice in Hebrew is the same as fasting in Hebrew gematry. Okay, kol v'tzom. Now, tzom, which is fasting, it is the opposite of metziut, which is reality. If you go to the root, then you find the opposites. So fasting is the opposite of reality. Reality is like when you assure yourself in something that is linear, and when you put pressure on this reality, then you are actually becoming faster. When you put in pressure on the known, on the linear stage of consciousness, then you are getting out of the con. You are not putting the deception on your body. You're not putting more weight on your intestine that are trying to function without materialistic deeds. And if you are connecting to the dew in the air, which is like mystic, right? If you connect to the ether net, if you connect to the net of that is sublime to the solid mind, right? If the mind is solid, then the air will be sublime to the solid consciousness, to the solid linear test, right? If you want your test to be better, then you need your intestine to be lighter. Not to put the anchor, not to anchor in yourself with solid food, but to anchor in yourself in God, in good, right? And the air is good. Going back to Shiva. So we got Brahman, we got Vishnu, and we got Shiva. And Brahman is like, this is creation, right? When you open, when you expand. Bri in Sanskrit is to expand, Brahman, Bri. Avraham in Hebrew is like the father of the shame people. So we got Vishnu, which is the preserver. It could be the first stage of Om, which is silence, okay? Which is like the son of Shimon in Hebrew mythology says it's the best for the body. But if you don't want the best for your body, because you don't believe that your body is perfect, you don't believe that you have the Messiah body, you don't believe that you have the Christ body, then you want to destroy yourself. What is the best way to destroy yourself? So Shiva. You can see Shiva is destroying your carbon chains in your head, and it's destroying the fat in your brain. And in return, it is like destroying your body. And there's no difference between Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahman. There's no difference. It's actually all the same. The way for you to preserve is to create, and the way for you to create is to destroy. So let's go to Hebrew mythology about Shiva, okay? Shiva, again, is a representation of And you cannot understand by one time. In Burma, Myanmar, they say yes. That's how they That's how they say yes. So this is not enough. If you want really to destroy your body, it's not enough to say yes. You need to go into the law, right? Law in Hebrew is no. So you need to go to no, like again and again and again until you truly understand what does that mean, okay? By the way, 13, it's a 13 letter in Hebrew also, not only in English and in Latin and in a lot of languages. 13, like, it is a representation of love in Hebrew, or one. It's the same geometry as one. Aleph, Chet, Dalet, Echad, which is one. That's what it means. And love, Ahava, Havatar, right? So when you say Ahava, it's love, it's the same geometry as 13. And okay, let's talk about Shiva again. Avtalion, in Hebrew mythology, what it says, sages, be careful what you say, lest you incur the penalty of exile. And you are exiled to a place where the waters are impure. The waters of learning are impure, and the disciples that come after you drink of them and die. And thus will God's name be profaned. Okay? So, Avtalion, which in Hebrew geometry is 108, it's a representation of Shiva. Again, 108 is a representation of 108 meditation styles. And 108 is like a very, very famous number in science. It's a representation of Shiva and Avtalion. Av is father, Tal is dew, and Ayon is like not covalent bond. Something that you can use for conductive consciousness. So Avtalion, which is the father of the dew, is actually you, because you are taking the air and you are benefiting the air more than anything else. And if you are studying inside a concrete wall, then you are destroying the dew forces. You are destroying the metal element inside of you. If you are learning outside in the air, then you are actually benefiting. You are benefiting the dew power. You are benefiting Avtalion, Shiva. Okay, so it's Shammai and Shiva. And the other guy, which is Shmaya, so it's Shmaya, which is listen to God. Okay, Shma Ya. Shma is like when you hear something. Shh. It's also the syllable of the liver, which is interesting. So Shmaya is like says love the work and hate position of domination, like hierarchy, and don't make yourself known to the authorities. So when you connect yourself to the then you are not supposed to be known to the authorities, okay? Like when you destroy yourself and changing the frequencies of your body, you are not supposed to say anything about this. You're not supposed to share, because people with authorities, people with hierarchy, they will try to dominate the beast, right? Beat with S. So if you want to truly destroy yourself, it is unknown. If you are telling yourself in your thought pattern, in your prayer, you are saying a prayer while doing then the waves of the prayer comes back to your body and destroy what needs to be destroyed. This is the only way for creation inside your body. You need to destroy the carbon chains. And prayer is a good way to do that. So, again with the So Nikola Tesla, he said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, then think of terms of energy, frequencies, and vibration. He spoke about the numbers 3, 6, and 9. What do we not want to know about 3, 6, and 9? So 108, which is the representation of Shiva, it's made of these numbers. So Nikola Tesla was actually talking about Shiva. Makes sense that the universe is made out of those 3 elements, right? 3, 6, and 9. So if we want to know the trident of Poseidon, which is actually 3, right? It has like three heads, right? The trident is like Shiva, Vishnu, and Krishna, which is the same. It's just a sword. It's just a spear, right? To get out of the conspiracy, you need to find a spear inside of you. You need to find the fathers. You need to find the gods, the true gods. Like finding joy within and giving joy to everyone around you. It's the foundation of the gods. That is needed for an ultimate well-being, right? If we want to have an ultimate well-being, then we need to know how to destroy the ignorance inside of you. And the ultimate possibility that referred to as Shiva is alive and accessible, and is always have been. So when we go to the it's always accessible, it's always there, it's always very alive, right? It's intestine. When we look at this is intestine, large intestine and small intestine, this is the kidneys, and it's also going up and to our pineal gland when we do this. If we continue that, you can actually feel the vibration in the head. We need to continue that 108 times. This is very difficult. I don't want you to do that, because this is very like for strong, powerful minds. So if you are just a starter, start with 20 times doing try with your tongue to the roof of the mouth, the palate. Yeah, this is not a palace, this is a palate. You change the C to a T. You change the carbon to how do you say C done? You change the carbon to, yeah, come on, forgot that. Never mind. When we go to the palate with our tongue, we are gonna change the frequencies of the salvation glands. Okay, so we got this triangle, which is pineal and salvation. Going to Shiva is like changing the frequencies of your salvation glands, and it's changing the frequencies of all your body, because your salvation glands are changing. They are destroying the proteins and the carbon chains of lies. Okay, so when let's say again about the 108 Upanishads. Okay, it's like a sacred number, and in the Sanskrit alphabet we got 54 letters. Okay, each letter has a feminine or Shakti and masculine or Shiva quality. So if we multiply this 54 by 2, we get 108. Why is this interesting? It's because when we go to the New Testament, to the last book, we see that there's 144,000 survivors. If we quantified this by 2, if we divide this by 2, then we get 72,000, which is the nadis inside the body, which is like tubes of consciousness. So again, it's not about doing this by yourself. It's about eventually doing this with your love mate. Getting the frequencies from the lips to a divine unification with the other 6, right? And to create 69, which is like Yagon Nivui. It's like a prophetic agony. It's like how you start to destroy the concept of agony. You need prophetic agony. 69 is prophetic in Hebrew, and agony is also 69. When we take both carbon beings that are educated in the text, in the sacred text, then we get the destruction of artificial concepts, and we go back to nature. When we are not sure about ourselves, we have the possibility to go back to nature. When we are not
sure about our state of consciousness means that we are actually smart. Most evidential, most people that think they're smart are stupid. Most people that think they know it all, they are dangerous. So most people that think they figure it out, putting like shame on this reality, those people should be avoided in order for you to manifest, right? Not to be manipulate, not to manipulation, right? If you want to manifest, then you need to let go of manipulate, right? If you want to become a good entrepreneur, you need to N inside, triangle, preneur, before the neurological experience. If you want to be a good entrepreneur, you need to go inside before the neurological experience, because you can change your neurons, you can change your brain. This is all doing the work of the sacred text, using Shiva and what he tried to teach us desperate humans. So yeah, when we go to the we are actually going to the 7 chakras, right? We put the prayer, goes inside. You can feel it in your pelvic floor. You can feel it everywhere. When your body is like a bow, right? When your body is made of the metal elements, from the dew coming from the air, then you're actually fastening yourself to an idea. You're getting faster brain cognitivity. This is all due to like the breaking of the shells, breaking of the shadows inside of you. So it's also in pranayama, when they're regulating the breath, they're doing 108 times a day. There's also a place in science that about